When you are a nonprofit community developer, a lot of times you look in the neighborhoods, you just want to redevelop everything because you want to see these neighborhoods come back to or be competitive with the suburban areas. But a lot of times you have to put on the hat of an investor. Who's going to buy these houses? Everybody's walking away. Everybody wants to rent. So what is your strategy going to be?
The one thing that we had not done until NSP was have to sell the home in the open market. So we're all out there investing a lot of resources for our agencies into purchasing, renovating these homes. And we started thinking about this regional marketing. We all have some similar goals. And that's really where it started. We had some initial conversations, and it was something we thought was a really good idea.
While NSP has helped many communities recover from the foreclosure crisis, the NSP homeowners requirements and neighborhoods where NSP funds go can make it challenging to market homes to new buyers. NSP funds must be used in distressed neighborhoods with high rates of foreclosure, neighborhoods that may also have high rates of crime and other issues that make them less attractive to families looking to put down roots. Even if houses are beautifully rehabbed, these neighborhoods can make it tough to sell homes. This is especially true for moderate income buyers who can afford to buy elsewhere.
Walk-in closet.
Oh, that's always nice.
So while NSP has real benefits for low and moderate income buyers, at first glance, it may not seem any better than what the lender down the street is offering. So how should NSP grantees respond? Hello. I'm Lawrence Williamson. In partnership with the Department of Housing and Urban Development and Enterprise Community Partners, I'm pleased to spend the next 30 minutes with you looking at ways that might help your agency create and implement a marketing approach tailored to meet the unique needs of the HUD Neighborhood Stabilization Program. Today, we'll be discussing innovative solutions to the problems NSP grantees are facing in selling their homes. In this video, we'll be visiting 2 different markets that have developed approaches to finding buyers for NSP homes. In the East Bay, a high-cost market with many grantees, we'll introduce you to Hello Housing and its collaborative partners, who have developed a regional marketing campaign that reaches out to the broad pool of home buyers. In Cleveland, we'll look in on the work of the Cleveland Housing Network and its community partners, who have developed a data-driven approach to selling homes. First, let's go to Cleveland, often described as an epicenter of the housing foreclosure crisis. And today, it's still wrestling with one of the country's most difficult housing markets. Pat Kinney is Chief Operating Officer for the Cleveland Housing Network. He oversees an experienced staff that's been developing high-quality, affordable housing in Cleveland since 1981. With a special emphasis on support service to renters and first-time homebuyers, CHN has been a steady, stabilizing force in many of Cleveland's most troubled neighborhoods.
When the crash came and the economic meltdown happened, thousands and thousands of homes were foreclosed upon. Neighborhoods that took us 15 years to totally invest in and rebuild were devastated and destroyed almost overnight. Hundreds and hundreds of investments and opportunities that we created in building markets and building stable streets and stable families were wiped out. It was like turning the clock back. What do you even do to begin to tackle this crisis? So we started collaborating with our partners that we work with all the time, Neighborhood Progress, Inc., the City of Cleveland, the State of Ohio, our local community development corporations, and kind of pooled our resources and thoughts to say, we have to jumpstart this market.
For all its troubles, one thing Cleveland is fortunate to have is a dedicated local nonprofit community with a history of joining forces. Alongside CHN, Neighborhood Progress, Inc., or NPI, is one of those partners focused particularly on neighborhood economic development.
To match the opportunity housing investment.
Correct.
Responding to the flood of foreclosures in so many Cleveland neighborhoods, CHN and NPI came together in 2008 around an initiative they call Opportunity Housing. In launching their venture, The question was, in a city overrun with foreclosures, where could they have the most impact? They settled on the strategy that drew upon NPI's previous work using an assortment of financial and demographic data to guide community investment.
Exactly which streets. And
Linda Warren is a senior vice president at NPI.
We're able to get from the county and the city almost every public record that they have. So we know which properties have violation notices on them, which are condemned. We're able to know which ones are in foreclosure, which ones have a foreclosure pending. And the staff that work on this can really sort and really analyze this data and slice it and dice it in a dozen different ways.
CHN worked with NPI to analyze data from the Neo-Can-Do system to create target areas. This innovative data system revealed important statistics such as average sales prices, foreclosure rates, and vacancy rates. Armed with this information, CHN and NPI zeroed in on 6 Cleveland neighborhoods, each shaken by foreclosures, but also positioned to respond to focused intervention.
The devastation was so large and wide, we had kind of one shot to really make this thing work in a significant way. So the targeting aspect that went on was really based upon a couple of fundamental issues. One, you couldn't go to the worst of the worst and try to turn it into something it could never be recovered to become, or you don't really want to go into an area that really doesn't need you. The other criteria was that the neighborhoods were selected because they had significant anchor projects that were going on within their community. In the Detroit Shoreway community, one of the anchors is the Arts District, where they have the Capitol Theater, and they've completely renovated, and it's actually one of the hottest theaters in the city of Cleveland. These institutional anchor projects adds to the stability of why would you choose this neighborhood. The impacts that you can make by focusing all your energies and efforts into these specific areas, it made the difference. If we had scattered out the houses all over the city in 15 different neighborhoods, you really wouldn't see the effect. And certainly the transition and the transformation by block by block by block would not have occurred.
CHN's target neighborhoods overlap with NSP-approved and eligible neighborhoods already identified by the City of Cleveland. When the city received NSP 1 funds, CHN was a perfect development partner to maximize their impact.
Well, that's interesting. And that would also
Opportunity Homes is one layer of that initiative. And what the data collection and analysis has enabled us to do is to target resources very specifically and very effectively in areas where they're most needed, in stronger market areas that we feel require a few houses here and there to strengthen the neighborhood and prevent that tipping point from going in the wrong direction. We're able to target those and apply the resources there.
Within each NSP eligible target area, CHN has a robust knowledge of the current housing market. And through a dedicated sales team led by Roger Thomas, CHN understands what's needed to get qualified buyers into NSP homes. Clustering homes in target areas, creating good financing structures, and mobilizing an engaged sales team. These are the keys to bringing homebuyers back to stabilize these communities.
My role was to assist with finding properties, what will be marketable, and how do we bring the buyers to those properties. And then once you begin that process, it kind of snowball from there, hopefully. And if you infuse it with the lease purchase along with the for sale, then you'll have product and a neighborhood that begins to look like there's development going on. And that always opens eyes and brings people back to the communities.
In tandem with its sales team, Opportunity Housing has implemented a multifaceted marketing strategy. It obviously includes the purchasing, rehabbing, and reselling of homes to NSP qualified buyers. But it also involves foreclosure prevention counseling, lease purchase arrangements, and even removal of housing too blighted to save. Each piece of the strategy contributes to the overall enhancing of neighborhoods.
We really looked at creating a brand, essentially. So if you bought an Opportunity Housing home, you knew that you weren't just buying a house in any part of the city. You were buying it in a place where there were going to be these major interventions that would support your investment. Because part of what we were trying to do through this Opportunity Housing design, we want this buyer of an Opportunity Housing home to know that they're buying in a place that we're not going to ignore.
You have to be very intentional about finding the right audience, constantly working very, very hard, doing fundamental things that typically work in the industry. For sale signs at every single yard. Have a great website, have a very interactive, quality website that will allow customers to search your property without even contacting you, filling out applications online, having your properties listed on the MLS. The wider your net, the more you're going to cast in that net. Our organization has a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week sales center. We'll take their information, and within 4 hours from that, we'll be able to have an email and a phone number and somebody to contact, and we'll be calling them back. And the key is to call them back immediately.
As of September 2011, Opportunity Housing has redeveloped 171 homes. To date, they've sold over 40 of their 47 NSP-funded for-sale homes. To achieve this level of success, CHN knew they could not do it alone. So the final piece of the CHN's marketing strategy involved a strong connection to the local CDCs in each of their 6 target neighborhoods. With these active partners, finding home buyers and understanding the local market became easier to manage.
Neighborhood groups help me out a lot. I mean, they'll know more about their neighborhoods than we do. If I send a client to talk with them, then they'll help them understand what's going on in those neighborhoods.
John Hopkins is the executive director of the Buckeye Area Community Development Corporation and has been an integral part of CHN's success in the Buckeye target neighborhood.
I really feel great about Opportunity Homes. Even in a down market, it's provided us a base of comparable sales. I mean, because without Opportunity Homes, other units really aren't selling. So at least this doesn't bottom out our housing market. We've kind of found a sweet spot, sales price. They're selling between $80,000 and $90,000. And again, we're getting great families to move on these streets. And we want to encourage them to be leaders. So we're asking them to get involved with the street club. We need that kind of energy to have a healthy neighborhood. We have an anchor project. It's called St. Luke's Point. It's a vacant hospital closed in the late 90s. That hospital is now being transformed into senior housing. It's a $53 million project. It's going to house over 150 senior units. It's going to have some light commercial, light office, and light retail space available. And what it has done around that hospital development, we actually have built a learning campus with a new public library and a new K-8 school. So we're really excited about that. And in addition, we've counted over $100 million that are going to be invested within a quarter mile of our anchor projects. We haven't seen that type of investment in years.
CHN is an established force, an organization with 30 years' experience in affordable housing in Cleveland. They are a recognized quality developer. So when they return to these neighborhoods with Opportunity Housing, residents welcome them back. Erica Reynolds is one of those new home buyers in the Buckeye neighborhood, thanks to Opportunity Housing.
Report cards came in the mail.
One day I was out looking around, trying to see about buying a home, just checking out homes in different areas, and I drove past a sign that said Opportunity Homes. And it was a program that Cleveland Housing Network had. I looked on their website and started to check out some of the homes they had on their website and looking at the different remodeling they were doing to those homes, and it was beautiful. So I filled out an application online, and I got a call, I believe, from Sheila Carpenter and Roger Thomas, and they wanted to show me a house. The whole time, Cleveland Housing Network was very informative. They kept me abreast with what was going on with my situation as far as getting my credit together, the home buyer classes.
Oh, look at all those A's.
Being a first-time homeowner and a single mom, I was afraid. Didn't quite know what to expect.
Good job.
But in the end, I ended up paying, what, $20 more than my rent? and I have a home, and it's mine. The new homes brings a different feel to the community, to where people want to be here and they want to shop here and have their families grow up here. I want to have my family grow up in this home now.
Across town, Millie Davis is also finding opportunity in opportunity housing. Part of a small but growing wave of residents drawn into historic urban neighborhoods with NSP enticement. She turned to CHN because she knew the product would be of high quality. She also knew the neighborhood would be getting stronger. CHN had targeted so many houses on and around her own street.
They've done like 5 or 6 on this street alone, and I'm pretty sure every single one has sold.
Hey.
Hey, Millie.
How are you?
How are you?
Come on in.
I worked with Roger Thomas at Cleveland Housing Network and through the Opportunity Homes program. I never felt like he was pressuring me at all to get a house that I didn't want. It was very comfortable.
We were able to reclaim all the bricks that were back there, so I gotta show you that.
Yeah.
It was the worst house on the street, and it was just an eyesore. And I thought that it deserved to be beautiful again, and I think that it is now.
This is like my little paradise. These were all
We're kind of like a pull yourself up by your bootstraps, like fight back kind of city. I know for a fact that the fight has not stopped.
Right.
and so that's really great. And just
In Cleveland, the marketing efforts began with targeting the right neighborhoods, the right streets, and the right houses for NSP investment. Opportunity Homes also built on strong existing partnerships, utilizing the unique strength of each partner to get the work done. Partnerships are also a key part of the other marketing efforts we want to highlight in this video. Let's turn now to a shared marketing platform launched by a diverse consortium of NSP grantees and developers in the East Bay of Northern California. Alameda County sits across the bay from San Francisco. It has a population of about 1.5 million, spread across cities, suburbs, and rural areas. Its largest municipality is the city of Oakland. Just to the north is Contra Costa County, with another 1 million people. For many years, this has been an area of considerably high real estate values. As prices soared, even the modest and the low-income neighborhoods experienced the boom. But with the foreclosure crisis, distressed properties have been flooding the market, sending prices plummeting, up to 50 to 75% in some neighborhoods. Spread across this wide and diverse area, some 10 different grantees have gotten roughly $75 million in NSP funding. And between them, they are contracting with nearly 10 different developers, many of whom are working in multiple jurisdictions. A lot of good work has been done to purchase and rehab in the most troubled neighborhoods, but finding the right buyer has been difficult. Marty Oakes heads up one of the developers working closely with NSP grantees. Her firm, Hello Housing, is based in San Francisco.
We have several NSP contracts, and we are working in about 11 or 12 different cities across the Bay, as far away as an hour and 20 minutes drive between the furthest cities. And we've got a handful of homes in one town, a handful of homes in another town. The market is really difficult. It's hard for people to get credit. It's hard for people to qualify. And then the target neighborhoods that we're working in are some of them are quite challenged. We also have a situation where a person can go down the street and buy a home without all the red tape that comes with buying a home that has some government assistance attached to it. And so what we really have to highlight is why our home is different.
It's that need to highlight the difference of an NSP home that led to this meeting. It's a gathering of major players in the East Bay NSP community. Grantees from county and city governments, developers, realtors, community organizers. They came together to hear Marty brief them on the progress of Home Hub, a branded web portal featuring NSP properties throughout the East Bay. Marty and her team at Hello Housing have led the creation of this centralized regional marketing campaign. It's taken many months of planning and design, and is now about to go live. In previous peer-to-peer quarterly meetings organized by enterprise community partners, grantees like Alameda County and nonprofit developers like Hello Housing came together to discuss this new regional marketing campaign to get the NSP brand out in the public's eye. During these meetings, Michelle Sterrett with Alameda County Housing and Development Office saw the opportunity for a new regional marketing campaign.
I get phone calls all the time. I'm low income, I'm working really hard, I've cleaned up my credit, I want to buy a house, where can I buy a house? And, you know, there is no one place that someone who wants to buy one of the redevelopment funded housing units or one of the other many single family home ownership programs can actually go. And we realized that this was a really good opportunity to create one place where everyone could go who was looking to buy a unit and they could see what was available to them.
So that if a person spends any effort to get in the door, that they actually realize that that is connected to a whole broad opportunity for them. And that there's other homes, if they invest a little time into understanding the program and the process, they can see this whole network of homes that are available across the Bay that have the same promise in terms of quality and renovation and support. What we're providing is a platform that people can plug into where you have a set of template printed materials. It's going to look the same for everybody. But a flyer in my house is going to look just like a flyer in a Habitat for Humanity home, and it's going to look just like a flyer for a home produced by Oakland Community Land Trust. Then we have a website that is really kind of a really pretty robust portal that's really like a Redfin or a Trulia, where you can go in and search for homes. Another piece of the website is it's really an educational tool, so it kind of breaks down what this program is. What are the 4 basic things that you have to know to figure out if this is going to be a good fit? And I think it's been really meeting a lot of people's needs and getting a lot more participation in the NSP program, which is really what we all want.
Marty and Michelle both saw a problem. NSP grantees and their partners in the East Bay were not selling homes. They also saw a solution, pooling their resources to create a regional marketing campaign in the East Bay. With Home Hub, these grantees, developers, and nonprofit partners now have a website, a brand, and a strong partnership network that would help them in this effort. Developers like Jamila Jackson from the city of Richmond are excited to begin working together to sell NSP homes in the East Bay.
The opportunity to put our product out there to a greater and wider audience is always going to be helpful for us. We do list our properties on the MLS, but of course we're competing with homes that may be priced lower because they are foreclosures, but folks don't really get the opportunity to see what features are in these homes. Just the fact that we can reach a wider audience is the most important part to us. This marketing material allows us to go deeper into what we can offer with our homes than just listing them on the MLS.
Because our houses have been on the market for so long.
Ann Griffith is another critical development partner in this regional marketing campaign. She's executive director of the Oakland Community Land Trust, an organization created specifically to deal with the fallout from the housing market collapse.
Oakland has been significantly impacted by the foreclosure crisis. And since 2006, there's been about 10,000 foreclosures. And I know it's a little bit hard to believe. So this house was in contract once and fell out of contract. And then recently we've had some interest in it. We have 17 properties. We've only managed to rehab 8 at this time, and in part because we're having trouble selling them. If we were able to sell them quickly, it would allow us to move them along, move them off our books, and be able to buy more properties and keep the process going. I'm guessing that you probably have done branded countertops as well. Something similar. So anything that helps us to explain the brand of NSP to people who are interested purchasers, any way that we can share our resources in being able to attract new buyers, we're excited about. We're not really competing against each other. I think it's part of what makes this a really great opportunity for all of us who are participating, is that each population is different. We believe that these homes are likely to be most attractive to people who are very familiar with these neighborhoods. Generally, they have family members here, they work here. It makes sense for them to live here. And A lot of folks who are in that position were forced out of the neighborhood because it was too expensive 5 years ago. And so this opportunity to have a regional approach to finding people is one that I think will allow people who are interested in living here, interested in reconnecting with family, getting closer to their jobs. It provides that opportunity.
As of this taping, Home Hub has been up for 2 months, and Marty reports that they are already seeing an increase in activity, including home sales. As in Cleveland, there is plenty of work to be done, but the East Bay collaborators are thinking creatively in the face of stiff challenges, and they have good reason to be hopeful.
So these are the signs that are going to go out in front. I love the idea that I can be sitting in my office and another nonprofit doing NSP development could be out doing a pitch, and I'm going to benefit from that. They're going to go get people excited about Home Hub, and they're going to come there and they're going to learn about my program, and vice versa.
So what's the takeaway for NSP grantees and scores of other communities around the country confronting similar challenges? In Cleveland, we learned that effective marketing begins with selecting the right neighborhoods, streets, and houses for NSP assistance. It was important to choose the neighborhoods that were struggling but also had promise of recovery. Selecting the right block and houses helped to restore buyers' confidence to the neighborhoods and the value of home ownership.
Don't get away from pricing it right. Don't get away from having a solid product, and don't get away from servicing the client with a good financing package. No matter how successful or you may perceive your success is, because it's just a lot of work that still has to be done.
In Alameda and Contra Costa counties, they faced a different marketing challenge. There, the partners needed to reach as large a number of buyers as possible and communicate simply and effectively with them about the opportunities offered by the NSP program. As you can see, both the city of Cleveland and Alameda County are facing a long road ahead, but with innovative marketing strategies in place, these neighborhoods are well on the right track.
Having that revitalization in this area like this is great. It's a really good thing for this community.